Okay, at this point, I assume that you have completed everything you need to do in Excel for all 5 of the questions. And if there was anything you needed to go back and fix or correct in your Excel file, you've gotten that done. And now you're just ready to write your final report where you present all the tables and charts and things that you've done in Excel in a Word document with some explanation and summary of what your survey discovered. Now, in this video, I'm not going to go through everything that you need to put into your report. For that, you need to look at the written instructions. So read and follow the instructions to see exactly what I want you to do for each page of the report. And there's also a sample report that I have posted on Canvas that you can look at to get an idea of what your report should look like. Now, the sample report is from a previous semester based on a different project. So it's not going to match what you're doing. It's not going to be about the same thing that your survey was about, but it should give you the same idea of how things should be formatted, what should be included. Just be careful and don't just copy or mimic what's in the sample report without paying attention to whether it really is appropriate to what your report is about. So you'll open up a Word document, and first you'll make a title page. So see the instructions for what that has to include. You don't have to get creative and include pictures or logos or special formatting or anything like that, but you can if you want. And then when you get to the bottom of your title page, you're ready to skip over onto the next page. So to get to the next page of the Word document, to make a new page, I'm going to hit Control-Enter. So I'm holding down the Control button and hitting Enter on my keyboard. By the way, if you have a Mac, I think it's a Command button instead of a Control button, but other than that, things should work mostly the same way. And now on this next page, the first page after the title page, we are going to start with a heading. So the first question was about favorite type of shirt. So while I'm at the top of this page, I want the centering to be on. I want it to be bold and font size 14 Calibri. And I will type favorite type of shirt. And then I'll space down and skip a line or two. Overall, I want my spacing to be single spacing or maybe a little more spacing, 1.15 if you can figure out how to do that. But I skip down a line or two, and I'm going to turn off the centering. And I'm going to type a summary of I'm going to explain what that first survey question was. So you can type this in yourself, or you can copy and paste it from the instructions. So in the instructions where I explain what to do for the question 1 page, here it shows you what that first question was. So I can at least copy and paste what the question was. But I don't want it in the form of a question on my report, because on the report, you're not asking the people who are reading the report this question. Instead, you're telling them what you asked the people that you were surveying. So I'm going to say, customers were asked what their favorite thing would be to have on a t-shirt from the following choices. So like I said, you could type in what the choices are, or if you think it's easier, you could just copy those from where I have them in the instructions and paste them into your report. So now skip down a couple more lines. And if you find later on that you can't make everything fit on one page, you might want to go back and delete some of the extra spacing. But now I'm going to my Excel file. And if you've been just adding pages to the same Excel file and using the same file all along, then you're going to have everything you need all in this one file. And that'll make things easier for you. If not, you might have to go back and find the different versions of your Excel file that have the different things that you need. But right now I'm here on the type of shirt tab where we made the table and the Pareto chart for question 1. So first I'm going to copy the table. I'm just going to go in and select all of that and go up here and click on copy. If you'd rather do this from the keyboard, then on your keyboard, you can type Control-C. So either type Control-C or click where it says copy. And now go back to your Word document and click paste. Or if you're using the keyboard, you can type Control-V. And if there are different options for how to paste it, I want the first option here, the first one on the left that says keep source formatting. So if you use the keyboard, you might have to go to this little pop-up menu to select that. Now, if I hover over the table, you see up here in the upper left corner, there's this little icon here that I can click on and then choose center to center that table so it's in the middle of the page, which is what I want. Now I'm going to go down here below the table, maybe skip another couple of lines, go back to my Excel sheet, and this time copy the graph, the Pareto chart, and then paste that. And I want that to be centered. So for that, I can just click the center icon up here. Now I'm going to skip a couple more lines, and now I need to turn the centering off again and type my summary. I want to be back in size 12 font. You don't have to do this, but you could say, okay, here's my summary, make a little heading there, and then turn off the bold facing and type something like the most popular. So what I wrote for my results was the most popular t-shirt subject was a sports team logo chosen by 35% of our customers, but there were a significant number of customers who preferred each of the other choices. Now I did it that way because these other three were all really close together. But of course, if you got different results, your summary should reflect whatever your results were. So if one of your responses was a lot lower than the others, you should mention that in your summary. So when you're done writing your summary, if you want to write more than this, you can, but just whatever it takes to summarize or explain what you got as your results for question 1, then you're ready to skip over to the next page and give your results to question 2. And then another page for question 3, and another page for question 4, and another page for question 5. So you can go up and, like I said, if you need to delete some of the white space or reformat some, you can make your chart a little smaller to make it fit better on the page. You can make the table wider. You can widen it. It's nice to have the table and the chart about the same size as each other. And we do want page numbering, so let me show you how you can do that. So if you go up and click on Insert, Footer, then you can go over here where it says page number, And I want my page numbering at the bottom of the page, and you can decide whether you want it on the left or in the center or on the right. I'll just make mine centered. And I don't want my title page to be numbered. So I'm going to check the box here that says different first page. And I'm also going to go over here and format page numbers and tell it to start at 0. So now that means that the title page is page 0, but it doesn't actually have a page number on it. And then the next page will be page 1. That's the first page that actually does have a number, and so it's numbered as page 1, and then your next page is going to be page 2, and so on. So when you got that set up the way you want, we can close header and footer, and then continue on with the rest of the report. So remember, page 2 is the page about question 2 for the size. So center that, make it font size 14, bold, and type the heading size. Skip down a couple, go back to size 12, turn off the bolding, and now you're going to be copying the table and chart for the size. So then just continue on following the instructions for your question 3 page, your question 4 page, your question 5 page. And once you've got everything written, save your work. And you don't have to do this, but one thing you might want to do is also save it as a PDF file. So instead of saving it as a Word document, you can also save it as a PDF. And the advantage to that is if you save it as a PDF and then submit it in PDF form, then there won't be any issues about it looking different on my computer than what you see on yours. That way, when I look at your PDF file, I'll see exactly the same thing that you have on your screen there. There won't be any formatting issues or anything like that. So you can submit either the Word document or the PDF. It's up to you. And when I teach this class in the in-person format, I give people the option of submitting an electronic version of the final report or a printed version that they print out on paper and give to me in person. You can't do that since we're all online, but if you submit the PDF file, then I have something that if I did print it out, it would look exactly the same as what you gave to me. So either way, the Word document or the PDF file, that's what you will submit to me as your final report through Canvas.